Hello, everyone who is listening out in internet land at bandbabe.com. I am speaking to more live. My name is Lacey Nygaard. I am one of the DJs for Bandbabe as well as Renagade Radio. Yesterday I had the privilege to talk to Aury, and she was very pleasant to talk to, and I look forward to all her fans and new fans learning more about her. Aury.
Hi there, Lacey. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, very good. My dog decided to join us today, so she might jump in every now and then.
Oh, sweet. What kind of dog?
She's a pug, and her name is Margaret Thatcher.
So she rules the roost.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Aury, how long have you been a musician?
My God, I've been singing since I was a little girl, and I've been playing music, God, really my entire life. Been singing. I've been actively in bands for about 16, 17 years now.
So, I had the privilege to read a little bit about your rock biography, and you've worked with a plethora of talented musicians. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
I know. Let me tell you, I've been lucky. I've met some incredible musicians, and I've had some really legendary musicians encourage and push me, and really kind of forced me to pursue the music thing. Probably the biggest influence, the biggest person to put me under his wing would be Alan White from Yes. He also played with John Lennon, and I met him at a private party, and he loved my voice and started calling me up anytime he needed a screamer to perform with him. And so because of him, I performed with Roger Fisher from Heart and Spencer Davis of the Spencer Davis Group, and some of the guys in the Ventures, a lot of different people, mainly because of his conniving and pushing and support.
At that time, were you just a backup vocalist, or did you have the Aury Mahler band already existing and you were touring with them?
No, I was singing cover bands at that point. And he heard me sing and then got to know me at a party, and him and his wife got my name and number that night and started calling me and asking me to do backup vocals for him. And so that's kind of how I moved from the world of cover bands into starting to do original music and projects like that. Was mainly because Alan thought it was a good idea, and I get compared to Janis Joplin a lot. I think part of it is that I've got some of her passion, and I can scream a little bit, and I would have people compare me to her all the time, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should just, give it a run. I look at the industry, and it's such a tough industry to be in. And so before I thought, why even bother if these people that are in my life, that are in family, can only get so far, what's the point? But then I kind of figured at one point, maybe I owe it to myself to take this gift and use it. And that's what I've been doing ever since. We started the Aury Moore Band in 2005. But before that, I was doing a lot of projects and filling in as backup vocalist or featured vocalist for bands that like Alan, and a girl named LJ Porter, and doing backups for my sister. But then Alan kind of pushed me and said, you can write, why don't you pursue that? And so I did, and my drummer, who at the time was my boyfriend, he wasn't my drummer yet, looked at me. We were both looking for a band, and he said, why are we looking for a band? He said, you're a writer, you're a lead singer, I'm a drummer, why don't we just start our own band? And that's when we decided to start the Aury Moore Band.
That's awesome. I had the privilege to listen to some of your tracks yesterday, and in our own private conversation, we talked about some of our favorite bluesy singers because you're very soulful and you have an incredible range.
Thank
that
you.
A lot of singers you don't hear much of. You don't hear it transform into like blues and jazz. Yeah. And when you do, it's usually they're a great vocalist and they have a long-standing career. So I I was really honored to hear some of your music and enjoy it very much. So what is your style?
You know, that's the big question. I actually worked with my first producer. His name was Tom Faffel, and he was killed a few years because he was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. He stuck his hotel room key in the wrong door, and the guy in that room had a gun. And so that was pretty devastating to me and to so many people in this town. But when I first started working with him and we sat down, he said, you know, Aury, you're a gospel singer and a jazz singer, and what I would like to do is take those gospel grooves that you have and wrap rock and roll around you, but always keep you a gospel singer. So probably in heart, I'm a gospel singer with a little rock and roll. And when I say gospel, I'm not talking about white gospel. I'm talking about you know, good black gospel. I grew up with the gospel king whose name was Andre Crouch, and a girl named Reba Rambo in the gospel world. I grew up with a lot of that, and then I grew up with a lot of jazz. But then I'm the baby of 6 kids, so I had all these influences from all the siblings before me. My sister gave me the pop rock influence. My oldest brother gave me the obscure, you know, Talking Heads and Laurie Anderson, and then I got the prog rock, and then I got the metal from my brother Michael, and the jazz from my brother Patrick. So I got a lot of influences thrown at me. I would say that the best way to describe me is I'm a rock singer with a blues edge.
Gospel and blues, man, those are the ones that are the pieces, like the antithesis for all music.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I didn't know I was a blues singer until I did 5 shows with Spencer Davis. And by the 3rd show, everybody came. People started coming to the shows again, and they'd say, "Hey, where's the blues singer?" And I don't know, where's the blues? Who are you talking about? Well, then Spencer turned to me and said, "Aury, they're talking about you. You're the blues singer." I didn't even know I was a blues singer until I spent some time performing with him. So I'll take it, though.
Who are your bandmates for the Aury Moore Band? How long have they been in the band? What do they contribute to the band?
Well, we've had some transitions throughout the band. We have Eddie Mendoza, who is my drummer and percussionist. And he and I started the band. He's now my fiance. We're supposed to get married next year. But we've been together in this band for 10 years. We've had Tony, our keyboard player, Anthony Cherokee. He's been in the band for about 5 or 6 years now. Lisa Ramalia has been on bass for 2 years. And we have a new guitar player. He's been with us for about 8 or 9 months now. And his name is Scotty Malone.
I'm sure they have all their own musical influences that help really bring a flair and a style to the band.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Eddie, and Eddie, when he decided to learn how to play drums, decided that if he's a drummer, somebody just drove by my house, sorry, as a drummer, he should learn all drums. And so he's got a lot of world music. He's got a lot of jazz influence. He's got a lot of progressive rock influences with him. My keyboard player, you know, all the great keyboard players, your Elton Johns, your Bruce Hornsby, your Leon Russells, those are all influences for him. I don't know who Lisa's influences are, but she's played a lot of blues over the years. And then Scotty, our guitar player, has played with a lot of rock bands and a lot of female-fronted bands. So he's kind of got a good feel of how to play with a girl.
I hear that you're going to be playing a September 5th show at the show where?
Yeah, we're playing the Seattle Rockathon. It's a 12-hour concert, and it's at Showware Center, which is a big arena in Kent. And we are going to be one of the featured bands that day. Headlining that day is the Candlebox, the Drowning Pool, Pat Travers, Filter, and we're going to actually be on that main stage with those bands. But it's a 12-hour show. It's also tied hand in hand with a group that Eddie and Gary and I put together called the 222 Timid Angels, and we're going to have a food drive. that we're going to have encourage people to bring food that day so we can give it to Northwest Harvest. But it's going to be a 12-hour rockathon. Tickets are $25 unless you get premium VIP seating. And if you want to go to that, it's going to be crazy. And I think tickets are getting more difficult to get, so maybe go to showware.com to get your tickets soon. It's SHOWARE.com, and that's based in Kent.
Well, where can we find you, Aury?
Well, I'm of course, I've got a website, and it's aurymoorband.rocks, which is AURYMOORE.ROCKS. And then I'm also on Facebook, and I'm actively on the Facebook page. I'm the one that responds to most of the posts. And so if you go to Facebook, just look for Aury Moore Band, and we have a page there as well.
Do you have any more upcoming shows?
Yes.
For the September 6th show?
Yeah, we just did a show for Microsoft that we've been blessed enough to do with another local artist named Randy Oxford, and we just did that on September 12th. We're doing a tie-dye party, and it's a crazy party. It's an all-day event, and then in November we're going to Hawaii to play Maui at a place called Charlie's, and we're doing 2 shows there on November 13th and 14th, and we're in negotiations for a couple tours, one being towards Germany, and then we're looking at Europe as well as Japan. So yeah, we're getting a little busy.
Oh, wow. You know, in Japan and in Germany, there's a whole different demographic and almost to the point of cult followers.
Yeah.
So I wish you did well there. Is there anything that you guys want to say to your band and to your fans, your loyal rock fans?
Well, you know, we have had a tough road this year. Our drummer's youngest son passed away, and so we've had a tough road this year in particular, but at the same time, we've had some really incredible things happen for us. We're friends with Gary Edwards, who is now currently our manager, and he helped us through the whole situation with Eddie's son, and became our manager after the fact. And so it's been a tough year. A lot of incredibly beautiful, wonderful people have been lost this year, but at the same time, some really incredible things have been happening for the band, and we know that's mainly because of the support from the people out there who have been with us from the beginning. And so thank you, Gary, for being so incredible and supportive and being a thinker out of the box. And thank you to our fan base. When we did our last CD, we did a Kickstarter campaign, and we talked about, we had a catchphrase, be part of the band. And the coolest part for us is that people that, you know, helped us with the Kickstarter and started to get involved with the band, they refer to this band as their band. You know, I'm going to go see my band tonight. And that ownership from the fan base has become really important to us, because we wouldn't be anything without the fan base out there supporting us. We're actually right now we're looking for a location to do a live CD, because that's the biggest thing that people have been asking about is, you know, God, you're so great when you're live, and the energy is completely different. Lacey, you and I talked about that yesterday. So we're...
You know, that's one of my next questions,
yeah.
Because I draw a lot of inspiration from being amongst a crowd and live music. You know, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
Some of the most amazing concerts I've ever been to were live.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because every show is different because the audience is different, you know, and the connection is different. And it doesn't matter if there's, you know, 20 people or, you know, 10,000 people. It's always a brand new, fresh, new experience for us. You know, I don't know what Eddie's going to be doing behind me. I don't know what kind of tricks, you know, Tony is going to have. And the one thing about our band is that we, although we take the music serious, we like to have a lot of fun. And so we're pretty interactive. I mean, I spend a lot of time I spend as often as I can out in the crowd mingling during the show. So I'll be out mingling and singing directly to people. And the interaction and the band members, it's just fun. And when you have a live environment and you feed off the crowd, that just makes us better. And so that's our intention, is to do a live CD. And hopefully in the next few months we'll be able to find the venue and get that on the go.
To connect with your fans and the people in the crowd and have that connection while you're on stage is incredible. And some of my most favorite bands, because, you know, you and I talked yesterday, and we're all here for the music.
Yeah.
And so one of my most favorite bands was to watch, like, Joni Mitchell connect with the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, a Cook Band, a few others that I can name off the top. Because when you're actively engaging with your crowd, they feel like they are a part of the band. And to connect like that is unlike anything else. You know, you don't get that from a studio album.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have another question for you. What are some of the inspirations that you have drawn from through these hard times in the past year?
You know, it's funny how inspiration happens. You know, for me, some songs are really easy to write, and then some songs are really difficult. We have a song on our more current CD called Here I Am, and the title track, Here I Am, I wrote about my dad. My dad passed away in 2002. That song took me 8 years to write, because I really struggled being free or allowing myself to feel those emotions that I had inside. It took me 9 years to write that song, but when it finally came out of me, it came out the way I needed it to come out. And then we have another song, ironically, called Wasting Time, which is a really beautiful, just a really beautiful ballad. And that song took 10 minutes to write. You know, so I tap into inspiration right now. The loss of Alex, that's I'm having things come my way, and but it's difficult because the pain is a little too close right now. We actually picked up a cover tune that we're doing right now called Say Something, and that song for me in particular as a cover tune is helping me deal with the emotions, as well as Eddie. And ironically, the other members in the band that have had loss in their family. And so we took this, this beautiful pop tune, and we've made it into a rock ballad. But the thing about that song is it's so honest. And I think when you write songs, you have to write with an honest pen. And for me, if I struggle being honest with myself in the writing process, because sometimes I don't want to reveal too much of myself, because I don't want to appear weak. But once I get honest, then the writing process will flow. I just have to allow that to happen. So inspiration comes and goes. With my dad, took 8-9 years to get that song in. Wasting Time took 10 minutes. Song called Prayer was a quick write too. It was probably a couple days I had that one out. But, it depends on what's happening in the world at the time and what's inspiring me.
Aury, can we find you on YouTube?
Yeah, there's Aury Moore Band on YouTube. We're also on Twitter and Flickr and all of those. And you can buy our music either direct through us or on iTunes, at CD Baby, all those places you can get the music.
Great. Our time is cutting short, so I can't wait to meet you in person. If you want to find Aury Moore, again, find her on Twitter, Flickr, Facebook, or her website, aurymooreband.rock.
Yeah.
That's AURYMOOREBAND.ROCKS.
That's
I
it.
look forward to seeing you for September 5th. The show is going to rock. It's the Rocket-Song, TLRocketsong.com. And the promoter is Gary. He's a wonderful guy. Headliners is the Aury Moore Band, Candlebox, and Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do the interview with you guys and be a part of the energy. And welcome to Band Day.
Lacey, thank you so much for inviting me. This was great, and I hope we get to do it again. I'll see you on the 5th.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.